Today I'll show you how to log in and get started with dbWatch. So this is my desktop. I have a Chrome browser here, and what you do is you go and get started on the web page, and here we go and register for the 90-day free trial. And you have to have an email that you can receive mails on, because you'll get an email afterwards. Submit. Excellent. So then we can go to our email inbox, and you'll get an email like this. And you click on the link to activate the portal account. You have to set the password, save and log in. And when you get into the dashboard, there is some things that you need to get started with the product. So you have to download the dbWatch software. You can click here to download. You can download the installer. Then we have downloaded the installer. We have this file here. And then another thing we have to do is we have to retrieve the license. So when you go to the license page, you have here where you can click on this link. And that will download a license file for you. Now we have both the software and the license file. We can close this Chrome window. We can install dbWatch. So we have the installer, and we have the JSON license file that we downloaded from the portal. So then we just start the installer. And we go next. Accept the agreement. Of course, lots of things to read. The destination directory. So it's a very much a next kind of dialogue here. So we will use the license file when we connect to the dbWatch server the first time. Now the installer we installed both the client and the server. We will get the client installer here. So we can double click, and it will prompt us with to allow us to connect to the dbWatch server by default. The first step when we are setting up the dbWatch software is that we have to connect to the dbWatch server. And when you install a dbWatch server the first time, it will stay unconfigured until you connect to it the first time. So by default, the default port dbWatch will run on is 7100. And as we did both the server and the client installed on the same machine, it will be on the localhost here in my setup. So we click connect, and then we get into the initial server dialog setup. And here is where we'll use the license file that we have already. There is other server roles as well. You can set up as a demo server. You get a more limited demo license that way. Open license file, and we go to the download, and this is the JSON file, and then it will show up here as a valid license. It will be linked to the email that you registered your in portal, and it will have a valid day here, and we'll create my username. So I'll go with something like that and apply. And now it will go through a few steps, setting up the dbWatch server, and we'll also be able to connect to it. So we just have to wait. It connects, sets up the certificates and everything that needs to be configured. And when we see it's connected here, we can close this window. And then we are connected to the dbWatch server in the background. And to start adding database instances to your system, you click on the plus icon here to add instances. And I think there is a SQL Server on my localhost. When you type in a known port for a database instance, it will automatically pop up here. But you can select also the instances here in the list. Let's see if this is the correct. Test the connection. Connection is okay. So to go ahead and check the permissions, etc. for the user. So here we can put it in different groups. So by default we have development, production, and test group. And the license we apply. So this is a demo license. So we have the demo type license. This will give us access to test out most of the features in dBWatch Control Center. And by default, it creates a database and login for dBWatch to use on this database instance. And it will use a template, the default template, to install a set of monitoring jobs that are suitable for most platforms. You can do manually adjusting it here. If you select this, the next dialog window will give you custom job selection, but you can also change this later on. These are the users used for different parts of the product. You don't need to change anything here. So defaults are good. And we have to give it a name. So my SQL server. And you can also add notes to the server about what applications are running here, etc. And then we click install. And it installs the first part of the monitoring, and then it will gradually install the different monitoring jobs for it. So if we expand here, we can see that only some monitoring jobs are installed now, but it will gradually install all the monitoring jobs that are part of that template. So you see the pop up here once they are installed. So that's the first steps. We have installed the monitoring for this SQL server. And if you want to adjust the monitoring jobs, you can go to configure jobs here to go to the dialog where you can select other monitoring jobs to install. And now you're ready to use dBWatch Control Center on the SQL server that you have installed. So there's similar steps to install this on other platforms as well. But this is how you get started on using dBWatch Control Center for one database instance. dBWatch Control Center, redefining database operations. Please visit us at Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube.